In this video, I'll be talking to you about the top 4 mistakes that I made when I started my first business. Hi and welcome to The Peculiar People. My name is Victor. Mistake number 1. I did not learn about business. What I learned was the technical part of what I was doing. So it's good because I wanted to be better at what I was doing, serving my customers with whatever it is I was doing, because I was in the writing services and I was learning a lot about writing. But the mistake that I made was I did not learn about business itself. So how do you manage cash flows? How do you define a unit of economics? And that is a huge mistake that I made, because I ended up being very good at what I was doing, but not good in business. And therefore what I have learned is that it is good to marry those two. Be good at what you're doing, but also be good in running a business. Those are two distinct things. If you're good at what you're doing, it doesn't mean that you're good in business. And that's one assumption that we make, especially if you're working for someone and then you want to start your own business. The skill it takes to run a business is very different from the skill that you need to do whatever it is you're doing in that business. So that's something that I have learned, and that's one of the mistakes that I made. Mistake number 2, I did not get mentors. Now that is very important, because as I learned over time is that mentors they bring value to your life in terms of helping you to see the mistakes that you could potentially make. And some of them, my mentors actually know me in terms of my personality, my strengths and my weaknesses. And therefore their voice has been very important over the years to help me to understand that there's something that I'm doing wrong, or there's something that I need to watch out in down the path of business. So I didn't get mentors initially, and I was just busy struggling and trying to do everything by myself, and I ended up just going round and round in circles, making the same mistakes over and over again, not having anyone to help me and point out something like, Victor, you're doing something wrong here. So that is a mistake that I made. But when I got mentors, what I have learned and what I have enjoyed is that they helped me to understand that I don't have to make the same mistakes that they made. So that is another mistake that I made, not having mentors. Mistake number 3 that I made when I started my first business. I did not define my business model early enough. Right? So by defining my business model, just trying to figure out how things will work, who are my customers, what are my sales margins and things like that, I ended up making a lot of mistakes, because every business needs a business model to help it to stand out. What was my unique selling point? How would I make myself stand out amongst the competition? So not having a business model was a big downfall for me, and it just, in fact, this is one of the things that it did. I ended up doing so many things because I didn't have a definition of what I was doing. So because at some point my goal was simply to make money, I ended up doing so very many different things because the objective there was money. But if I have a business model, now what I understand is that the goal is not just money. Sometimes it is more important to get our relationships built up, because that will translate into money a little later. So that helped me to put some structure in my mind and in the things that I'm doing. So very important to have a business model. And finally, mistake number 4, I was thinking from a survival perspective. I did not have a long-term plan. I wasn't thinking about what will this business look like 5 years from today, 10 years from today, what would I be doing? I did not have a futuristic plan, because I was thinking of survival. I need to make money, to pay the rent, to do the things that I need to do. That is working from a survival mentality. And with that, I have no plans, I have no goals to lead me towards somewhere, because I'm just thinking I need to make that rent payment by the end of the month. So those are the 4 mistakes that I made when I was starting my business. And I hope that this can help you if you're starting your business, or even if you're in business, because interesting enough, I find myself sometimes making these mistakes rather. So for example, when I'm starting out a new product or a new service line, I find that sometimes I tend to go back to these mistakes, and being aware of these mistakes is something that has helped me to be careful so that my mind does not trick me to go back. Because this is a new thing, it doesn't trick me to go back to those same mistakes. So here's something else that you can be able to do that has been very helpful for me in business. I enrolled in the Synapis Academy program. If you're not familiar with that, I'll leave a link in the description below, and you'll be able to find their website. But Synapis has been able to give me the principles that I need for business. Learning alongside other entrepreneurs, sharing our ideas, looking at what the market looks like, and learning those critical skills that you need for business. That has been very helpful for me, and I highly recommend Synapis. They have different programs, whether you are at idea stage or whether you're in your business at 5 years, 3 years, 15 years, wherever you are in your business, Synapis has the right products for you. Now, the other thing that I want you to think about, I have told you the 4 mistakes that I made. What mistakes have you made? Think about it, and feel free to share with me those mistakes in the description below, in the comment section below. Tell me, what mistakes have you made? Let us share this so that we don't end up making the same mistakes. You never know, by sharing your mistake, you'll be helping someone else. And here's something else for you to think about. Being aware of your mistake will help you not to repeat it. Alright, so be aware of the mistake so that you don't repeat it, but number 2, so that you can learn from your mistakes. Let us learn from our mistakes. Thank you for staying tuned to The Peculiar People.